I look like I'm 12. Anyway, wanted to share some things with you today. If you see this, it's a cough drop because I've been talking too much, so my throat's really dry. Hopefully it won't be too distracting. So I've already done versions of this video 5 billion times, as usual. Nothing new. What is new is the item that I'm going to be talking about after this. But also the vape nail I got today, which is my Kangertech Mini RBA. As I had mentioned before, I don't know if it's in a video I uploaded or not, I lost part of my sub-tank, my RBA section, and I have discovered I do not like the stock heads, at least not for my style of vaping. The juice that I use, I don't really know what it is, but I keep getting dry hits, so don't like it. Don't like. The fail video I posted was me vaping on a stock coil, and someone had put a message, but I couldn't respond directly to it because I don't know if they're not on Google Plus or whatever it is. I couldn't respond to it. So to respond to what I did, because I think he was insinuating that I didn't prime the coil. I did. I always prime my coil, regardless. I've always done that, even with old hanger heads, whatever, the little pro tank heads. I've always done that, just because I've had better luck with that. I don't trust it to wake on its own. That coil wasn't new. It had been sitting for days, so it wasn't like it wasn't primed. It was definitely saturated with liquid. It was the fact that I had it obviously turned too high, and I don't know, I just don't like the wicking on the stock head. It just doesn't wick quickly enough, especially I guess for that higher of a wattage, because it was at 20 watts, which isn't high, but for like a 1.3 head or whatever, I guess it was too high. I don't know, but that was the fail video. But anyway, my little replacement RBA for my Kanger sub-tank. So excited. Oh, and I forgot it comes with a stock coil. That's awesome. I don't even have to build a coil. I forgot. Or not even forgot. I didn't know. I didn't think it would come with a coil if you bought just this section, but I guess it does. And these do have the new improved insulator at the bottom, because the original ones had like the clear white insulator, but I guess this brownish one is supposed to work better for lower builds, which again, I'm not really big on sub-ohming, which is ironic because I got the sub-tank, but I don't know, I stick around 1 ohm and I like it. So anyway, enough rambling for 3 fucking minutes. I want to talk about the item I purchased a while ago. I ordered a version 1 Tugboat from Flawless Vape Shop, which is who makes the tugboats. They design it and all that stuff. So they are from the US, just putting that out there because it's kind of important to parts of the later story. I ordered the version 1 Tugboat because they were on sale for $35, and considering the normal price was $90, that's quite a bit of a discount. It's almost a third. And then there's flat rate shipping of $5. So $40 for authentic dripper that a lot of people really like, and that's made in the US. I thought it was a good deal because, you know, drippers can be very, very expensive, as is any vaping related thing can be super expensive. There's always variants. So anyway, I ordered it, and I'll try to make this short because I've, of course, done this video 5,000 times. Yeah, it took about 2.5 weeks to actually get my item. I thought it was USPS's fault. I thought they were just being super slow with shipping, because around here, I don't know why, but certain times the shipping's just really delayed. And it's not always about the weather, because sometimes the weather will be fine and just the shipping will take forever. So I don't know if that's specific to my area. I know other people on the Convicted Vapes Facebook page said that their mail is fine, but my area it sucks, so I don't know. But anyway, I contacted them about a week after I hadn't gotten any further emails, because all I had gotten at that point was the original receipt for my purchase online, which is standard with really any online company. And I got that right away. It's like an automated message giving me details on my order, all that stuff. So after a week and 1 day of not hearing anything from them, I contacted them. The only way that I could, or the only way I knew how, was via their little submit form on their website online. So I put in my information just asking for an update on my order and received nothing. Now that was the Saturday before Easter, so I gave them a couple days because I figured, with Easter, maybe they're, holidays, whatever. Nothing. Now, usually when I contact a company regarding my order, I get a response immediately, like right away. So I figured 3 or 4 days was a good enough time to get a response if I was going to get one. Still hadn't got my item at that point, and that was a week and a half later. So, and mind you, on their website, put that out there, there's no notation about a delay or extended processing time or whatever. There's nothing, no mention of that. So, contacted them again via their little feedback form thing, because it's the only place I saw. I didn't see an email address or anything like that. And then, I don't remember if I waited a day or whatever, but it was soon after I decided I was going to leave a message on their Facebook page, just in case their little feedback system thing wasn't working. And I just left it on their wall. I just asked to be contacted regarding my order. Didn't put anything specific or anything, because I don't really feel like that's the general public's business. And at that point, I wanted just to see what was going on with my order. Within that same day, within a couple hours, I got an email. And the email was very weird. I almost didn't open it because it just looked very suspicious. It almost looked like spam or some kind of phishing type of thing. Because the only thing, like the sender, it said customer service. Not customer service of a specific company, just customer service. The title of the email was blank. There was no subject line whatsoever. So the only reason I opened it is because I had a feeling it was from Flawless and I wanted to know what the hell was going on with my order. So I opened the email, and literally the only thing that was in the body of the paragraph or the email was USPS, hashtag, and then the tracking number. There was no dear customer, no phrasing, no paragraphs, no summarization of my order, nothing. It was crazy. Like, I've never gotten an email like that from a company before. It was kind of irritating, because at that point I had been waiting for my order, hadn't received my order or an update or anything, and then I get that kind of thing. So wasn't happy about that, but I'm like, whatever. So I put the tracking number in the USPS site, thinking that hopefully they had already sent the item and just never sent me my tracking. But no, it was literally like the label had been printed and that was it. Hadn't even been received by USPS to be shipped out. So I'm like, great. So about two weeks and a couple days later, I finally get my item, and it doesn't stop there. I was heading out the door, so I didn't have time to really thoroughly inspect the item. I just wanted to make sure it was there, and I didn't want to take it with me because I didn't want to risk losing it. So I just opened it, and I noticed immediately that it looked strange. It didn't look right. Specifically, the color didn't look right, because it was a matte pink color, and the one that I ordered was like a metallic lighter pink. Like, this was hot highlighter pink, which doesn't bother me. I like pink just in general, like pretty much any shade of pink I would have been fine with, but it was just weird. And the way that it looked, it almost looked like it was spray painted on, which I'll show you right here. So I took it apart because it almost looked like it was spray painted shut, and I wanted to make sure that it was functional. And it was, and I remember taking it apart, like, all the way, like that, and, took everything apart, and just briefly looked it over. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll look at it more when I get home. So as I'm out and about, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute. The version 1 Tugboat doesn't have pieces to it. The top cap is all one piece. There's no adjustable airflow control. So the more I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, they sent me the wrong thing. Now, I'm not complaining that they sent me the version 2, because that's what they did. They sent me a version 2, and I'll get more into why it's weird, because it's not even done then. I'm not complaining I got the version 2, because I actually wanted the version 2. There's a lot of upgrades that came with the version 2 that the version 1 doesn't have, such as the adjustable airflow control, the just overall look of it I like better. It's not as bulky, and I don't know, it looks better, in my opinion, the version 2 does. The insulator on the center pin or whatever is better, which, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much for me because I'm not building super low resistance or anything like that, but it's just good to have. It's got the gold-plated center pin and the center post, and the conical top cap, and the shorter and more wide bore drip tips. So I mean, it has a lot of things that I prefer. It's just I wasn't paying $90 for that. It's just not happening. So I'm not complaining that I got that. What I'm complaining about, or was complaining about, or was pissed about, is the fact that they sent me the wrong item, didn't give me an option, like, hey, you know, because you were waiting or whatever, here's an upgraded item, or would you be interested in the upgraded item, or do you want to continue to wait, or whatever the case may be. Like, having the option to get one or the other would have been nice. Like, of course I would have gotten the version 2 if provided the choice, but they didn't even ask. They didn't even give me an explanation as to why I got the right or the wrong item. I didn't even get a packing slip with my package. It was literally just the device itself, an extra O-ring, an extra screw, and a little Ziploc-ish type bag. That's all there was. There was nothing, no receipt, no nothing. So that was part of the problem, and the other problem was the finish. The finish is completely wrong. I ordered the metallic. It was like a lighter pink, more of like a pastel kind of pink. This is straight up hot pink matte. It's like a powderish kind of finish, which, again, I don't mind. I like hot pink, whatever, but that's not what I ordered. It's not even really, I mean, it's pink, but that's really it. Everything else about it's kind of wrong, so it's like, okay. Another thing that's odd is the top cap itself, and the color itself, the finish and everything. This finish with this particular, just the standard version 2 top cap, as far as I can tell, does not exist. It's not offered on their website. This top cap, the color and everything, looks exactly like it's called the, I always forget the fucking name. It starts with an A. But it's like a performance competition top cap. I'll have to look it up because I keep forgetting. It's like, it's really fucking annoying that I can't remember this. But it's like a performance top cap that has these staggered air holes, so that's how I know it's not just that top cap placed on the whatever. It's a version 2 top cap. It's just the finish and everything is like the other top cap, which was for the competition cap. So, and another thing that's different between those caps, besides the whole configuration, is the logo. The logo on the competition cap, in place of, I think it's the flag, is like an X symbol, which coordinates with the competition cap or whatever. So it's really weird, and I don't know if they did that on purpose. I don't know if this was like a flaw, which is kind of ironic considering their name. Which, I'm weird, and I actually like one-off type of things. I like anything that's kind of like unique. So it's not that would bother me. It's the fact that I don't even know if that's what happened. I have no idea what happened. It, to me, almost seems like they just threw something in an envelope and sent it to me, like regardless of what it was supposed to be. And it's kind of annoying. Like, it's like no regard for the customer whatsoever. And when I was on their Facebook page, when I left the comment, I had seen, because I was looking through like posts on their page to see if anyone else was having these delays like I was, and there was one other guy that was waiting for a different atomizer. I forget which one it was, but I guess it was like a custom kind of thing. And he's like, you know, I placed my order a while ago and it had been weeks and still hadn't gotten it, and kind of wanted an update, whatever. And the response from the company was basically blaming it on the distributor or the manufacturer or whatever. saying that it was their fault that there were delays, and they only know what the manufacturer told them. It was kind of like passing the blame off on the manufacturer. But it's like, okay, even if it's the manufacturer's fault that there's a delay, it's still your responsibility as the person that sold it to give your customer an update and be like, hey, this is what's going on. A customer should not have to contact you regarding an issue that's your fault. You know, if there's a problem with delay, a problem with manufacturing, if my item specifically wasn't available, something like that, I should have been contacted. I shouldn't have had to contact you to, you know, and then to not even get a response was annoying. I had to contact them again, and then via a different means. So I don't know if there's a problem with their ordering system. I don't know if they're slammed, but the top cap I was referring to is the Anarchist X Tugboat. It's a competition top cap for the Tugboat version 2. And you can see it online. It's the hot pink. It's like the last picture on the page when you go to that specific, you know, the Anarchist top cap thing. It's the last one. It looks my atomizer thing looks exactly like that as far as the color and the finish. But as you can see, it looks like the top cap or the drip tip is different. It looks like mine's longer and the logos don't match. So I don't know what's going on. But if you look at the standard version 1 or the version 2, my finish is not available. So I don't know what happened. I have no idea. But it's kind of lame. The customer service is lacking. And for a USA company, it's kind of unacceptable. Especially for what I would consider a kind of like higher end kind of brand. Because they're not like a super cheap brand. They're not super expensive. They're kind of like in the middle, but kind of closer to like higher end. Because I'm sorry, $90 for a atomizer, just like a dripping atomizer, is kind of ridiculous to me. It's not like it's horribly complicated, like a design or whatever. And I'm sure there's factors in there that make it, you know, as expensive as it is or whatever. But the point is you're paying a little bit more, you know, the customer service should kind of match that. So that's it for the story about the atomizer. As far as the actual review, I'll do in a separate video because this video is already really long. But I will say that I do really, really like the atomizer. It's the product itself is actually really, really good. I was actually very surprised because I really didn't expect to be like a difference between this and the other drippers I have, which are mostly clones. So like this is really my only authentic higher end dripper. Like the only other dripper I have that's authentic is the IGO L, which is pretty basic. But yeah, so if you're interested in that review where I actually go over the actual device itself, that'll be separate, and it's just going to be like a basic like what I like about it kind of thing, because there's plenty of other technical reviews that are done way better than I could possibly do, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, if you have any questions, comments, or similar stories as to like bad customer service or whatever, put them below.